attaboys are what you get every time someone says like attaboy, like, oh, good job. It's all the positive favor that you have with people around you. And oh shit is, a time that you fuck up or something that you're responsible for fucks up, or at least you're perceived to have fucked up one way or another. You might not have even done anything wrong and it's still an oh shit is the point. And you can think of it like a bank of attaboys. And story goes that it takes about 10 attaboys to cover an oh shit. So if you think about the attaboy economy, the first thing to know is that also like a complaint can also be seen as like an oh shit, like just bothering somebody can be a little oh shit. So you really want to not come in too hot with the oh shits if you have no attaboys in the bank, right? Because you're bankrupt immediately. And I've seen this happen too many times where someone will start new at a company and they'll kind of ruffle too many feathers early or cause kind of issues early on. And, they got no attaboys to cover themselves. And so things don't go well and they're gone pretty quickly. But if you come in and you try to, kind of keep your head down and just do a good job. You don't have to do a phenomenal job. Just do like a good job so that people are like, yeah, man, good job. Yeah,
Attaboy.
Attaboy. It doesn't have to be anything extreme. I don't need to throw you a party. It's just like a attaboy, man. And you bank a few of those, bank 10, 20, 30 of those. Now you can start to cover yourself for an oh shit or two. And you might be asking yourself, well, when am I going to want to, have an oh shit? I don't want to have any oh shits. How about I just live a zero oh shit lifestyle? And what I would say is you don't want that because that's a zero risk lifestyle, which comes with a much lower reward ceiling. And in fact, you can risk an oh shit or two for many, many attaboys, right? If you maybe go out on a limb, and what does that mean? That might mean, well, I didn't necessarily get upper management's approval to implement this feature, but I really think they're going to like it once it's out. I just can't really convince them to let me kind of work on it on the side for a couple weeks with this one engineer who's already telling me they're really bought into it and that they're not concerned with how it's going to impact their work. So I don't know if I can do it. And if I get yelled at, I get yelled at, but I don't think I'm going to get yelled at. And if it goes well, I'm going to get just a dump truck of attaboys out of this one, And you can start to work your attaboy economy. You can start to take risks, but you have to build that positive favor first in order to do so. And then, you get to folks like us who are just, I live on a mountain of attaboys. And whenever something kind of happens, like I said, I snuff it out with my attaboys a lot
just
of time
sprinkle it.
Yeah.
And you can't be too bad. There is such thing as a too big of one. You could still bankrupt all at once.
Sure.
Question.
Oh, yeah.
Question. One, you nailed the canonical attaboy. That's going to be its own long.
Yeah.
Second,
you're talking about a nuclear oh shit. That's what you're talking about there. Those can happen.
Those are good lords, and you don't want to do those. It's probably like 100 or 200 attaboys for a good lord, and so you really got to be up there
real
to
expensive.
be sticking around because you learned it and you're not going to do it again, rather than we regret hiring you. That's a good lord. Question. Thank you. Have to tell that back to Lauren. I'll send you this clip. When you were describing attaboy bankruptcy, it reminded me, it came to mind, is attaboy bankruptcy synonymous with flipping the Bozo Bit?
I think that's a astute observation. I think it's possible. Probable, even. Yeah.
What is the Bozo Bit, right? Well, go ahead.
So the Bozo Bit, that's so good. I think they are, congruent. What's the opposite of orthogonal? Or diagonal? All right, anyway, so these things... I don't fucking know, dude.
In agreement and harmony, identical in form. Close enough.
Yeah? Okay, hey, that felt good. Okay, so the Bozo Bit is basically like, you think of it as you take
collinear.
People... collinear, okay. You take people it's kind of like innocent until proven guilty in a way, or giving people the benefit of the doubt is another way of putting it. And what you'd say is like, if you're starting to work with somebody that you've never worked with before, you start out on the terms of like, yeah, I mean, I'm going to trust mostly like what you say. If you tell me like this is a thing that happened, I'm going to say like, okay, yeah, that's probably a thing that happened. If you're like, this is something a customer wants, you're like, yeah, it's probably something that the customer wants. And then if something happens and you get bit by, say, you do a couple weeks worth of work, you deliver the thing for the customer, and they're like, this isn't what the customer wanted. And you're like, this is exactly what you said the customer wanted. And they're like, oh, well, that's going to cost them an oh shit for you. And that's the thing, is the attaboy and oh shit economy is interpersonal. You have a different economy with different people. And so you have this case where somebody has bankrupted their attaboys with you. Like, they didn't build up enough positive favor, and then they've hit you with oh shit after oh shit after oh shit. And now what you do is you flip the bozo bit. And what that means is now when they approach you, you automatically assume they're full of shit. You have to like do some work to even prove that what they're talking about is even valid. And so they come to you, they're like, oh, this customer has this problem. And you think they probably don't have this fucking problem. Or, that's probably not what the root of the issue is. And that's devastating when somebody's had the bozo bit flipped on them, because it makes them really difficult to work with. And then every time they approach you, you're thinking like, great, now I have a bunch of extra work to do just to validate whatever it is that's being said by this person, because I can't trust what it is they're saying at face value. And trust doesn't mean like blind trust, like, oh, I take everything this person says as gospel. Trust just means like, yeah, at a basic level, I believe what you're telling me is like honest and at least has a basic level of consideration on your end, given your role and what you're responsible for. So the bozo bit, yeah, devastating when it's flipped. And I think is directly related to attaboys and oh shits, because if someone bankrupts their attaboy economy with you, you'll probably flip the bozo bit on them. That's basically, it's chapter 11 attaboy bankruptcy, is the bozo bit has been flipped, And a lot of time, and if you flip the bozo bit with the wrong person, you'll get fired. People flip the bozo bit with me all the time. Nothing happens to them. But if they flip the bozo bit with your manager or upper management or something like that, it could be bad. Yeah, it could be bad for you.
That is two canonical topics intertwined